Tonight, fashion and politics collide with the goal of bringing attention to the gender gap in the fashion industry and beyond. The Equal Rights Amendment Coalition is teaming up with fashion brand KZK Studio to host an event tonight ahead of the start of the New York Fashion Week this weekend. The event and fundraiser will include a panel featuring leaders in fashion and gender equality discussing the intersection of the Equal Rights Amendment and arts and culture. The ERA Coalition is an organization composed of nearly 300 groups, all with the same goal: to pass the Equal Rights Amendment, which was originally introduced more than 100 years ago and would constitutionally guarantee gender equality for men and women. Joining us now, the president of the ERA Coalition, Zakiya Thomas, and board chairwoman, former New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. Thank you both very much for being on the show this morning. Congresswoman, first, where does ERA stand in the grand scheme of things across the country?
Well, it's extremely important, particularly after the Dobbs decision, which showed us that our rights, abortion rights, can be taken away. And Mika, that shows that any of our rights can be taken away. But there's been a string of elections and court decisions across the country that are an indicator of what's to come. And when we put the ERA with abortion rights, it is an absolute election winner. We're hoping this year we will get a vote in the House and the Senate, hopefully passing it. If we don't pass it, then at least we'll know where people stand and can certainly take that out to an election. And I can't understand why anyone should be in the United States Congress if they don't believe in equality of rights for men and women.
Zakiya, tell us about the coalition's work and also teaming up with KZK Studios and the motive and the message for tonight.
So the ERA Coalition is made up of over 300 partner organizations, as you mentioned, but we represent over 80 million people across the country, all working towards equality. And our goal really is to bring people together to recognize and uplift the Equal Rights Amendment and the fact that we don't have constitutional equality. And without it, our rights are very tenuous. One of the new discoveries in the last few days has been that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has used their state ERA to support abortion rights. Today we're talking with the KZK about the importance of having an Equal Rights Amendment to protect pay equity for women across the board.
And Carolyn Maloney, you and I both have been fighting for equal pay for as long as we've had a platform to fight with. How would the ERA just kind of jumpstart all of our efforts, where still after, 10 years that I've been in the game, we're still not paid equally to our male counterparts?
Well, just in that, we would be able to enforce equal pay for equal work. We passed legislation saying that we should be paid equally. Well, you can't enforce it because right now you can discriminate against women. This would ban discrimination against women. You'd have a uniform treatment towards women across the country. I think it's outrageous that some states have taken away abortion rights, women's rights should be uniform across the country, and you can write legislation that will make it even stronger. They would not have been able to repeal the access to abortion, which I thought was a constitutional right. I was shocked when they did it. I couldn't believe it. Or take away our rights, and they are threatening to do it. And if we don't fight back, they'll just keep coming at us. It's this simple. If women are in the Constitution, then our rights are protected. And we're half the population. And when you combine equality of rights, the ERA, with abortion rights, it polls at over 75%. It's an election winner. It's the right thing to do. And it's never too late to do the right thing. 100 years is long enough. This year, let's pass it. Thank you so much, Mika, for having us. And if I could ask you to sign our petition to show concretely that women and men are equally and that you support it. It's sign number 4 equalrights.org. And we hope to have millions so that we can show the weight of public opinion supporting equality of rights.
Consider it done. Zakiya, tell us what's going to happen tonight, sort of the pregame to Fashion Week, and why the connection with Fashion Week is actually quite significant.
Well, as we all know, arts are very important in our culture, and they help to transform culture across our country. And so we are looking to combine the art world. That's fashion. That's with our dendrophenomenology project that we had last November to really show and highlight that this is an issue across sectors, and we need to make sure that we're addressing these issues. Right now, we see that that women in the fashion industry make less than men, and that the men are the ones in the positions of power. And we need to change that. We need to make our systems more equitable so that everyone has a seat at the table and they're able to be their fullest selves.
Fabulous. Zakiya Thomas, former Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, thank you both so much. And you can read much more about the gender gap and the fashion industry in our latest Know Your Value piece. It's online right now. Ladies, thank you. And